To get what you love, you must first be patient with what you hate. A man of bad character punishes his own soul. The real friend is the one who, when you ask him to follow you, doesn't ask where. People count with self-satisfaction the number of times they have recited the name of God on their prayer beads. But they keep no beads for reckoning the number of idle words they speak. The true greatness of man lies in his eternal progress. He who buries his head deep into nosebag full of food cannot hope to see the invisible world. There is no way to reach the end without mastering the beginning. Understand that for every rule which I have mentioned from the Quran, the devil has one to match it, which he puts beside the proper rule to cause an error. The essence of knowledge is to know what obedience and worship are. It is sometimes said that we drink our religion with our mother's milk. An honorable person won't tell people how great they are, people will experience their greatness just by being with them. He who does not arrive at the intuition of these truths by means of ecstasy knows only the name of inspiration. If the world had two gods, it would surely go to ruin. This is the first premise. Now it is known that it has not gone to ruin. This is the second premise. The way to paradise is an uphill climb, whereas hell is downhill. Hence, there is a struggle to paradise and not to hell. Whatever the situation may be, in the recollection of death there is reward and merit. In God, there is no sorrow or suffering or affliction. If you want to be free of all affliction and suffering, hold fast to God, and turn wholly to Him, and to no one else. If those who do not possess the knowledge to avoid the scholarly discussions, disagreement will end. Knowledge exists potential in the human soul like the seed in the soil. By learning the potential becomes actual. If you do not prepare now for the afterlife, then when will you do so? If you busy with yourself now, you will be busy with yourself then. If you are busy with Allah now, you will be with Him then. Whoever passes 40 without his virtue overpowering his vice, let him get ready for hellfire. This advice contains enough for people of knowledge. Whoever determines the truth from people alone will remain lost in the plains of bewilderment. Rather, know the truth, and you will know its people. Man's nature is made up of 4 elements, which produce in him 4 attributes, namely, the beastly, the brutal, the satanic, and the divine. In man, there is something of the pig, the dog, the devil, and the saint. Remember, it is the heart and not the body which strives to draw near to God. By heart, I don't mean the flesh perceived by the senses, but that secret thing which is sometimes expressed by spirit, and sometimes by soul. Anyone who refuses to marry is shrinking his framework, wasting the seed, and leaving idle the appropriate tools created by God. He sins against the purpose of creation and wisdom visible in the evidence of natural structure. No, O beloved, that man was not created in jest or at random, but nervously made and for some great end. Do not fix hopes on your health, and do not laugh away life. Remember how they walked, and now all their joints lie separately, and the tongue with which they talked lightly is eaten away by the worms. Work for your terrestrial life in proportion to your location in it, and work for your afterlife in proportion to your eternity in it. The mere physical man is like the ant crawling on the paper, who observes black lettering and attributes its production to the pen and nothing more. Only that which cannot be lost in a shipwreck is yours. For good health, control your diet. Never have I dealt with anything more difficult than my own soul, which sometimes helps me and sometimes opposes me. The hypocrite looks for faults, the believer looks for excuses. Those who look for seashells will find seashells, those who open them will find pearls. The tongue is very small and light, but it can take you to the greatest heights and it can put you in the lowest depths. Often love between two people intensifies not because of beauty or some advantage, but because of sheer spiritual affinity. All of a man's happiness is in his being the master of his ego, while all his suffering is his ego being his master. Declare your jihad on 13 enemies you cannot see: egoism, arrogance, conceit, selfishness, greed, lust, intolerance, anger, lying, cheating, gossiping and slandering. If you can master and destroy them, they will be ready to fight the enemy you can see. Do not allow your heart to take pleasure with the praises of people, nor be saddened by their condemnation. Knowledge without action is wastefulness, and action without knowledge is foolishness. To get what you love, you must first be patient with what you hate. Desires make slaves out of kings, and patience makes kings out of slaves. If you see Allah, mighty and magnificent, holding back this world from you, frequently trying you with adversity and tribulation, know that you hold a great status with Him. Know that He is dealing with you as He does with His awliya and chosen elite, and is watching over you. Dear friend, your heart is a polished mirror. You must wipe it clean of the veil of dust that has gathered upon it, because it is destined to reflect the light of divine secrets. Often love between two people intensifies not because of beauty or some advantage, but because of sheer spiritual affinity. Half of the disbelief in Allah in the world is caused by people who make religion look ugly due to their bad conduct and ignorance. Whoever says that all music is prohibited, let him also claim that the songs of birds are prohibited. You must convince your heart that whatever Allah has decreed is most appropriate and most beneficial for you. The happiness of the drop is to die in the river. Each of your breaths is a priceless jewel, since each of them is irreplaceable and once gone, can never be retrieved. When you have a bad suspicion about a Muslim in your heart, you should increase your consideration toward him and make pray for him. Which one do you like most? Please write in comments and subscribe to our channel for more.